God, this stuff, like when I think of it in my mind, I'm like, oh, that is such a simple idea. This is gonna be so easy to do. And then I start doing it and I'm always like, today we're back in the studio because we are gonna make this picture. And I am in the past. I haven't shot this picture yet, so I don't know what it looks like. But I'm gonna take you behind the scenes and show you exactly how I do it today. Let's go. I put these streamers up. They'll be very, very fun. I bought them for a photo shoot recently. However, I just love the way they feel. And because they are so reflective, it'll be really good with the star filter to help us get that very Kira Kira effect. Ow! Oh. We'll figure it out. All right, we've got basically everything set up but the camera. I have my computer here because I'm gonna send the photos directly there. We have one light set up, might change it later, and our backdrop with the object floating in the thing. And you'll see where we're going with that. The idea is that I'm gonna put this cover on so that there's an illusion when I tap it that the cover changes into one of these, and then I'll shoot the same thing with the other cover and then put them together later in the computer. I'm nervous. These are like kind of hard to get on, so I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Oh God! Absolutely messing up the fishing line doing this, but that is okay. The muff is heavier. It's no longer at the right angle, so I need to either add some weight to the back of it or here's what we ended up doing. I added another fishing line to the front of it. It's attached underneath, and so that is to pull the angle up correctly and to make it go from like this to like this. God, this stuff, like when I think of it in my mind, I'm like, oh, that is such a simple idea. This is gonna be so easy to do, and then I start doing it and I'm always like, why did I choose this for myself? Why did I do this? Okay, we are at the computer now. I actually edited the GIF and everything the other day, but I didn't record it. So I'm gonna walk you through it now really briefly and what it looks like on my end after I take the photos and before we get to the final image. So we're in that software called Capture One that I used to trigger my camera while I was shooting. And I'm also gonna edit them and prepare them for Photoshop in here as well. When you're in Capture One, on the left, you'll see a capture folder. This is where all your images go while you're shooting. What I did first is these are all completely unedited. What I did first is I went through and I grabbed all of my best ones and put them into the selects folder on the left. And this is where I did all my color edits to make sure they were uniform as well. I have to say, something that I really, really love about Capture One is the fact that you have layers in here just like Photoshop, and the colors are a lot better, especially for Sony. I've noticed that when I'm working with Sony files in Lightroom, it's just always like very like I don't know how to describe it, but the colors don't look right the way that they did when I used to shoot on Nikon, but the colors render amazingly in Capture One. So I'm finding that I'm using this a lot more when it comes to color editing, not just tethering while shooting. But something I really love about it are these layers over here, because you can turn them on and off. So like for example, when I first did this, I put my exposure and my color layer, but then on another one, I accidentally applied those twice, and I actually preferred how it looked like this instead. I also want to add that in Capture One, you can change the opacity of these layers, which you cannot do because this does not exist in Lightroom. Oftentimes in Lightroom, I'll apply a preset and it's too strong, and I wish that I could turn it down, which you can do in Capture One because there are layers and because there is an opacity slider. These are all of the images that I chose right over here. And we did a little finessing in Photoshop because I realized I didn't shoot these properly. So in the first one, you can see that my hand moves towards the microphone, taps it, and then we change to the cheetah print. My hand moves up and away. My hand goes back in, taps it, moves away, but I didn't shoot it properly. So at the end, I realized my mistake, but I didn't want to redo everything. So I took 2 of these pictures just of the background so that I could use those and make a composite in Photoshop. So from Capture One, I sent these to Photoshop and put them in one document. When I first made this, I took all of those pictures from Capture One and put them into Photoshop as layers. But later on, I decided it would be easier for me to just make a composite. So what you'll see up here is I took my hand in certain images and I cut it out. And that's what you see here, is each of these is a hand that's been isolated from the background like that. If you want to know how to actually do that, that's a whole other video. Let me know in the comments because I can show you how to do that too. So I isolated those, and I'll use the same hands for every single tap. I'll just repeat the same hands. And then I also cut out each of the covers. So this is what I called the white cover, the brown cover, and the mic with no cover. Then I used a background layer, and that's how it looks like this. Doing all of this, I take them into Premiere, and that's where I actually put together my GIF. And once again, that is a whole other process. If you are more organized when you're shooting, you don't need to do all this cutting. You don't need to make composites and get all complicated. If you are very strategic when you're shooting, you can just put each individual image behind itself and make a sequence that way. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions that I didn't cover during the video, make sure to leave those in the comments. Or if there are other videos you'd like to see, let me know as well. And if you enjoyed today's video with lots of behind the scenes, make sure to watch this one because you'll really like it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!